so that innocents are not called to die. Deploy fortune's winds to go sweeping by, set right the indivisible borderline, so that more innocents don't have to die. Heartsick, we wish you everything benign. Set right the indivisible borderline. We witness what has been taken from you. Heartsick, we wish you everything benign. At what altitude will your world turn blue?
Beautiful.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it. And I know that our feelings are the same from what you've expressed.
Yeah, I really admire your skill with the form. It's very challenging. I've tried several times to write a pantoum that sounds like something, and I have not yet succeeded. So congratulations on using that form too. It was wonderful.
Amazing, really.
All right. Well, I believe we are there. I would like to read a poem, but besides that, I believe we've covered everybody's hands. Mine is not political. Mine is, I was not planning on reading tonight, but I've been reworking an older one. And when Anne read hers about the desert, I thought about my favorite place, or one of my favorite places, which is in the forest in Pennsylvania, actually my background. Probably about a quarter mile on the other side of that pond that's behind me. And around the same time, in the woods, right near a tennis court that was back there, was this giant rock, huge rock, like you could sit 5 or 6 people up on top of it. It was really thick and really big. And if it was the middle of winter, you could see it clear as day. But if it was the middle of the summer, it was a hidden little spot. So this one's called Fort Rock. Pockets do not have much use for a kid. Parents take the abuse of doling out money for ice cream after baseball games, or holding on to snotty tissues passed up to them from the back seat on the way to relatives. They were important, however, in bringing things to Fort Rock. On Thursdays and Sundays in the summer, we had barbecues for the guests. Simple fare cooked in brick outdoor fireplaces. Staples were served: hot dogs, hamburgers, baked beans, and cookies. Pockets were made for cookies. Where to take our chocolate-chipped plunder? To the rock that's hidden, but only after the leaves came. In winter, this fort provided no solace in a snowball fight. Remember to take the cookies out before sitting down. In the summer, the fort sat just beyond knowledge. A large boulder yards into the swath of forest between the tennis courts and the horses, between the ski shop and our home. Perfect for a best friend and myself to pretend we were at Arthur Ashe Stadium watching Connors and McEnroe battle it out. We provided surprise service to the odd errant shot that escaped the fence. The guests slightly below and out of view, astonished as a seemingly lost Pen 3 bounced alongside them, thrown back from the verdant abyss. And as the leaves fell, so did clandestine conversations. Being waved to meant it was time to find a new activity. For, of course, there's nothing interesting about being noticed. Thank you.
Very visual.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a whole series of them that I'm working on. But my wife has a whole set of short stories, and we have designs on putting something out together at some point. Well, I do believe we have completed another wonderful poetry reading for the Newbury Park group. I'm putting in the chat right now, just so you can remember it, the name of the podcast, if you'd like to listen back to yourself or listen back to anybody that you heard here. So on whatever application you use, whether it's Apple Music or Spotify or Spreaker or iHeartRadio or whatever, if you type the Thousand Tales podcast into that, you should see it. So you can just hit subscribe on that, and you'll be notified when I upload it. I'll try to do it later tonight if I can, but if not, I'll probably do it sometime tomorrow. And they just get propagated out to all these sites, and then you can listen to it. We've got a bunch of past Newbury Park poetry readings there, so enjoy that.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Well, everyone, thank you very much as well. We'll have more information for you as we know it as to how the April reading will go. And of course, in two weeks we have the Thousand Oaks Main Library branch reading as well, which Ron hosts. So please look out for information from that. All the same cadence that you normally hear information about, but for next month's Newbury Park branch, maybe read that a little bit more closely. We might have some additional details about being live and in person. So fingers crossed. Everyone,
this was truly wonderful. Thank you.
Of course.
This is the best one I've been to. I've been to a lot, and the quality of the poetry here, being a poet for 50 years, like a lot of the others here, I guess we're just thrilled to hear such good poetry and such wonderful language. I'm thankful. So thank you for having me.
I don't think anybody could have said it better. That was really wonderful. That's great. It looks like Casey, you have a note quick?
I wonder, how do you access a connection to the erotic poetry at 2:00 on Sunday?
That would be a question for Phil, and I think he just dropped off. I would say look through your email for his detail, and he sent out a specific email around that.
Can I just say that it's on Facebook? If you go to Phil's page on Facebook, it's right there. You just click. He has a click.
But for people like myself, and maybe there are others, what about those of us that do not use social media? How do we get access to it?
If you go to on the web, go to Ventura County Poetry Project.
There it is. I'm going to put that into the chat as well.
The reading.
Ventura.
And there should be a link there and all the details.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. See you
What was
there.
the podcast again? What was the name of the podcast?
I put it in the chat. It's called the
Tales.
Thousand Tales podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll write that down.
Alrighty. Well, you all
Thanks,
have.
Connor.
Of course. Thank you, Anne, and thank you, everyone. Everybody, high five. High five. Well done, everyone. Hey, it was great to see you all. Have a wonderful month, and we'll see you next month. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take good care.
Thank you.
Reading
Bye,
in.
everybody.
Love